Where'd you go?
All right, on the shot. Little update for Aubie.
Hi.
We're taking things really slow. I'm letting him work at his pace. I really want to make sure there's a good amount of trust before I start adding in any type of conflict, because I want him to be able to look to me in the situations where he's learning how to cope with stress. So if he's not 100% with me and then we go into something where he's really not knowing what to do, then he's gonna crumble. So lots of relationship building, confidence building, all of that stuff. So the big thing right now is our marker system. I'm trying to help him understand what I'm looking for and what to do when I say certain things. So I'm creating a language with him so that I can use that to help navigate him in those tricky situations. So I really want him to know how to take a reward, what my reward is meaning, like what I'm rewarding. And I have different markers to help him understand like what he's supposed to be doing when he hears a reward word. So specifically, like I'll use the word yes, and he knows that means to come take the reinforcement from me, versus I'll be sit, good is implying that I want him to keep doing that, and then I'll bring the reinforcement to him, good. So I can pay him in behavior, and then okay means that the behavior is over. So I really want him to have a strong response to those markers so that I can take him out. Like we're doing everything in the training room this week, because even though like there's a window right here, he can still see things. So he's still a little bit kind of jumpy when he sees things going on out there. So once he's like not really caring about that stuff, we'll start going out front, and eventually we'll go on little field trips down the road to the park, Home Depot, things like that. I don't think he's quite ready for that. Normally we'd be tapping into this stuff with more confident dogs, but he's just not ready. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just his, really doing his confidence level. So I have him on a long line, a little tiny one, just so I can keep him from leaving. Like sometimes if he's like a little bit struggling, he'll just be like, okay, I'm gonna go down the hallway and wait for you to come and get me. I want to be proactive with limiting certain conflicts, and I want him to learn how to work through a little bit of stress. So the main thing right now has been a lot of positive reinforcement, so he's only had good experiences. But again, like I want him to understand, like, hey, you can come check in with me when you're unsure of what's going on. So at least just keeps him from being able to skedaddle off. And then he's a little sometimes funky about having the slip lead put on, specifically coming in and out of his kennel. Like he's not too bad about it anywhere else, but for some reason going into his kennel, I think there's so much like spatial pressure from the staff that he'll kind of go to the back and have the whale eye of like, don't do that. So I usually just let him come out and then he'll let me put it on there. I don't have any issues with it. So for me, again, I don't want him to be able to run off. So I've just been good experience.
Oh, I lost you missed your head.
Good experiences with letting the slip lead come over.
Yes, there we go.
Coming right back off. So I think a lot of that has to do with spatial conflict and the feeling of being trapped. So because he's lower confidence, there's a lot of that defensive behavior. Defense usually takes the picture of fight or flight. And if he can't move away, then he has to go into fight, which, you know, we're going to use that pretty loosely here. Fight doesn't mean he's actually fighting us. It just means that he's trying to remove a source of pressure.
Yes. Wow, so brave.
Man, you're fine. So next week we'll be stepping out a little bit, getting him a little bit more comfortable with higher distractions, a little bit more conflict now that he's more comfortable with working with me. And I'll demonstrate him kind of playing around. Right now because I'm not doing anything with him, he's really kind of zoning in on the sounds happening. Like there's somebody around the corner, and there's people outside the door over here. So he's kind of like, nothing's happening with me, so I'm just gonna fix it on everything else. Hey, bud. Getting him used to me leaning over him, all of that stuff moving around me, coming into my space, something that he wouldn't do on the first day. Yes. Woo. Yes.
Wow, the belly.
Yes.
Whoa.
Good boy. I want him to have fun and be silly and all that good stuff, so that he thinks of me as a good thing, right? Bring him over here
Place. I don't want to start with it. Good boy.
But again, I really want him to learn how to deal with stress. We'll do something that's a little bit challenging, so that he can have a win, and then we'll go do something really easy so he feels super good about himself. I don't like to keep progressing with the difficulty, because then that can kind of flood the dog and cause him to shut down. So I want him to have those feelings of like, oh, I can do that. We're gonna take him out of his comfort zone a little bit. Aubie. Yes. So that he can learn how to deal with stressful situations. Okay. Out. Slowly. Aubie. Get it. Place. Good. I should have cut up samples for this video. Good. Nope. Place. Good. That was a good fix. Where'd you go in? Nope. Place. Good. So I want him responding to those markers and not by movements. That's kind of what's going on there. Again, I'm kind of generalizing place what certain words mean so he knows how to respond to them. Nope. Place. Good. Okay. Very nice. Place. Yes.
Whoa. Yeah, I hear it.
Aubie. Okay. You know, that's a Julie one. Place. Good. He's picking up. He's starting to understand. Good. The context of place. Good. Okay. Place. Good versus why yes. Good. Place. Good. Good.
Oh, such a smart bully.
Okay.
Yay.
Get it. Aubie. Yes.
Ooh, good boy. That's so good.
All of this is just a language that we can take when he's really comfortable with doing it with me here. I want to just transfer that to new environments. I know I'm kind of repeating myself 1,000 times, but that's the point. Okay. Aubie, get it. Come. Good. Good. Okay.
Yeah, good boy.
All right. Just wanted to do a little video to see that he's a happy boy.
Yeah, all right.